4 things to avoid on the spiritual search. Number 3, pretending. Now, I know this is a big ask because we're always pretending and we don't know we're pretending. I mean, sometimes we do, right? If you're like in a play and you're pretending, or, sometimes you really know when you're putting on a false face, but mostly we don't. So this is a big ask. Here's the thing, here's the problem the way I see it, is that if you don't know who you are, you have to pretend. Because the human nature is designed around knowing who you are. This is a series on how non-duality and native wisdom intersect. And so this is something very different that I'm bringing to the discussion on non-duality. Ancient typical non-duality teachings come from the idea that we don't know who we are as the natural state, and that we have to attain this amazing enlightenment in order to find out who we are. I disagree with that basic assumption. I think that native wisdom shows us that the natural human state is to know exactly who you are. And who you are is going to be rooted in place and people. I am this particular tribe. I am this being, me, that lives interconnected here in this place. I think that's the natural human state, and it's only the broken state that we have entered into with modern civilization that causes us to not know who we are. So I think that the basic human nature is like magnetically, like a magnet to know who you are. That's like the drive. And if we get confused in not knowing who we are, we're going to have to pretend. So it's this huge, huge compulsion to pretend. But what we're learning with non-duality is that if we can get past that, then awakening is just right there over your shoulder. So if we can avoid pretending, if we can just kind of start noticing when we're pretending. And you'll notice that most of the time we'll pretend to be something more wonderful than what we are, right? I'm the most loving being that ever existed. I am unity exemplified. We'll pretend these things, won't we? And we'll actually buy outfits to look like the thing we're pretending that we are. There's so many wonderful outfits and stuff from the East. Of course, we all want to wear them, but how does that change your feeling of identity when you put that on? Are you a different person if you're in just plain ratty clothes? Are you a different person if you're in a business suit? We use our clothes to pretend who we are. We use our hair and makeup to pretend who we are. We use our crust of knowing to pretend who we are. A big one, we use our crust of anger to pretend who we are. We use our crust of loving to pretend who we are. We criticize others constantly because they're not living up to our standards, because neither are we. Pretending. So there's no way to stop pretending until you break through, into this inner knowing of who you are. But what you can do, and why it's on my list of things to avoid, is start noticing when you're doing it. Just start noticing, oh, that's a false face. Now, it's very easy to notice the false face on other people. Go ahead and do that. Start seeing it on other people, and there is a better chance that you're going to start seeing it on yourself. Don't be an asshole calling people out on it. You're not supposed to be pretending. Yeah, no, be a nice person. Every time you see it on someone else, know that this is on you too. And we can go beyond pretending to become a natural, authentic human being when we know who we are.